Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Cooper, host of the Welcome to Cooperville podcast. A new little feature here that we're going to be doing, not only releasing this on the podcast platform, but also putting this up on YouTube. So you can check out our YouTube channel. Just search for Welcome to Cooperville, and we're on there. No, I think it's actually just Cooperville. Oh, I'll have to check that. It's our first episode. It's Monday morning. It is about 20 after 6. And this is really just something that we're going to start doing each Monday and call it Own Monday. Every Monday, especially if you're working in a Monday through Friday job, or you like to celebrate a lot on the weekends, Monday can tend to be that day that doesn't exactly get your week started off on the best note. I was that individual for many, many years. I still struggle with Mondays. A lot of times now it's because of my kids' routine, not necessarily mine, but just words of encouragement, words of inspiration. I think I'm on a journey that a lot of other people are on. You'll have a lot of things on YouTube. You have a lot of podcasts that are out there that are people who have already reached a level of success, either with health or fitness or in business, entrepreneurship. I'm not there. I'm not that person. I am learning and growing and trying to become better each and every day in all aspects of life. And what I've been hearing, and thank you to all of you who have reached out. My buddy Mike was over this weekend, and we had a nice long conversation about, finding that inspiration, finding that fire, and taking that first step. And then he talked about inspiring somebody else in his life to kind of get them up and moving around and doing some things that they want to do. So really what this is just kind of pop it in on Mondays. Some days we may go live on YouTube, and then we'll post the audio up on the Welcome to Cooperville podcast page on all platforms. And just, give it a listen. We'll talk about the 95% rule, something that I've really been imploring in my life that randomly just came up really in the midst of a podcast. I can't remember who exactly I was talking to. I'll have to do my research. Again, it's 20 after 6. Now, I've been up since 3:30, but the brain still doesn't function. It's not the morning routine isn't get up and be like, all right, I'm ready to go. No, this is more about easing the brain into the day. But 95% rule was just something that I thought of kind of on a whim, and it really started to fit into everything that I was trying to do. And what it is, for those of you who didn't listen to that episode or episodes following it where I bring it up often, is you will fight in really everything that you do that's uncomfortable with 95% of your brain. 95% of your brain will tell you not to do something. This is uncomfortable. Go back over here where it's a little easier. But then there's 5% of your brain that's just kind of ready to get after it, ready to take on the day, ready to grab a hold of life and kind of own your own brain, which is a tough thing and a tough concept to kind of put your head around. But so fighting the 95% rule with the 5% of your brain that's just ready to make some changes and improve and get better in whatever aspect it is that you're trying to get better at. So today, just something that I wanted to kind of talk about. I listened to a lot of podcasts and listened to a lot of audiobooks and read a lot of books over the weekend. And there was an interview in particular where about kind of taking in your environment. So I did that. We were out, had to do some quick shopping over the weekend, so we hit up Walmart. And you kind of just start to observe the people and the environment around you. A lot of it has to do with being present as well, kind of being self-aware at all times and understanding what's going on and where. But you kind of start to, I don't want to call it judgment, but you just kind of get a vibe from people that there's a lot of broken going on in the world today. There's a lot of broken minds. There's a lot of broken bodies. There's obviously broken homes. There's broken hearts, broken relationships. So there's a lot of broken that's going on, and not a lot of healing that happens along with it. We just kind of let our mind go to mush and tend to be okay with that. We let our bodies go to mush, and we kind of get comfortable in that. Relationships, the things going on inside of your home, if there's not happiness in there, you just kind of get accustomed to it and you let it be. And it just kind of becomes your norm, and then eventually, after a while, you don't think about it. So when you're out observing, people, and you go, "Wow, it's a sad state where there's just not a lot of happiness." And I think happiness does, to quote my favorite comedian, Dennis Leary, Happiness comes in small doses, but it shouldn't be that way. I mean, happiness should come in all, in all things that you do. Now, there's going to be situations where maybe you're very not happy with getting up early and, putting in a workout or taking the time to meditate or, taking extra time with the kids and trying to fit all this stuff into a 24-hour day. But you got to be able to find happiness in everything. Because if you're not, you're going to be left with a lot of unfulfillment when you get to kind of the end of your days. So kind of look around and observe not only your life. I think that's, looking at yourself is a big part of it too, but observe the world around you and just kind of see and maybe gravitate towards those that, I don't want to say have their stuff together, because I don't think anybody really has their stuff together 100%, but the people that are making steps in the right direction or have reached a certain level that maybe you want to be at, whether that's a weight loss goal, whether that's a business opportunity, whether that's some sort of financial situation that you want to find yourself in. Just observe them, I think, and maybe start taking notes. I've developed this habit of, and this is coming from somebody who has really bad handwriting, like legit. I write things and I'm like, I wonder what that really says. That was probably really important and really cool. It's probably something important on the grocery list, and now we can't make pancakes because I couldn't read what I said. So I've consciously to making an effort to try to learn to write a little more clearly. But taking up notebooks, I mean, I have 3 of them stacked up over here that I have different ideas and different things I just want to get out. But observe that person and kind of take note on how they do things, and maybe implement some of those things into your life, into your day, and then on another notebook or another sheet of paper, start to write out where it is that you want to be. What are your goals in the next day? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, where do you want to be at 50 or 60 or 70, whatever age that you are looking to accomplish this by. And start to put some of those things in, because you want to be somebody who can go out and raise people up, the people that are broken, that have the broken minds and broken bodies and broken hearts, broken homes, and be able to lift them up. And if you're in one of those situations, if you're the ones that's dealing with some of the brokenness inside and out, take a look inside and really figure out why that is, and kind of own up to your part of it, own up to what influence you had on the way you feel and the way you look and the way you, your mind looks at things, and forgive yourself. That's so huge. We always talk about forgiveness of others, and which is another huge and important step in the process. But forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you've made is, you can't move forward very far without that. And then you get to let that go. Once you kind of forgive yourself from all the crap, maybe some bad decisions that you made or some things that you did that you're not proud of, or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just, forgive yourself for, letting your mind go or letting your body go, or, letting career opportunities pass you up. To say, you know what, it's okay. I forgive you. And then you can move on with it. Then you kind of have a clean slate on your own end. And then you look at the other part of it, and that's the factors that others have played a role in. And you also got to let that go. Harboring on to that, it's somebody else's fault. It's because of this. Blaming others and playing the victim is not going to get you to start moving and to start being motivated and to start trying to make any changes in your life. So I think it's so important to not only forgive yourself, but then get rid of the other crap too. It's not that person. Maybe that person did something that caused some trajectory in your life that didn't pan out well for you, but it is what it is. That situation is in the past, and you got to let it go, and you got to start from today and try to make it the best day that you possibly can. So owning Mondays and owning your life is kind of a huge part of this whole adventure. My Mondays being the toughest day of the week, and the day that we're putting this out. What I want to start doing on Mondays is just issuing a daily challenge. And this isn't like go out and do 300 burpees today. This isn't, hey, I get up at 3:30, you should get up at 3:30. No, this is just small things to add into your day that can maybe make it 1% better. today's challenge is I want you to smile. Not all day. Don't be that person walking around smiling all this. Don't make it weird. But I think it's important to consciously put a smile on your face, whether you're sitting in your office, whether you're out on the job site, whether you're at home with the kids, or just at a moment that you wouldn't necessarily think to smile. Just smile. And do it for 5-10 seconds. And see how you feel. You may feel silly and this is goofy and this is dumb. But just really analyze how you feel after that 5 seconds is done. If you feel good, later on in today, do it again. Find a weird random moment and just smile. Maybe there's a moment of uncomfortable that approaches you today. Maybe it's right now. Maybe it's early in the morning. But smile through it. Release some of those, neurotoxins in your body that can kind of give you 5 or 6 or 10 seconds, or maybe in 5 minutes or an hour of clarity, and put some happiness in your life. It's a super small step. It's a super easy thing to do. And I think if you can, force yourself into smiling a couple times today,